Ready or not, here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Prepare to be caught. Here I come now. Let's play hide and seek. Riding on the playground, no mountains to make a sound. Round and round and round and round. No one wants to be first found.
Hello everybody, how's it going? I just wanted to I hope Ember doesn't mind, but it's late and I just got a wild hair and just figured I'm just going to do it. So I was going to contact him and ask him if I could use stuff in his video, and he's probably sleeping. More than likely he's probably sleeping. So I'm going to use little bits and pieces of it. Thanks Ember for this. I wanted to show you. Okay, so let me start off with, if you haven't seen his video that I'm taking this stuff off of, you need to see that before you watch this. And the link will be in the first comment, and it will also be in the description. Okay, so what he's referring to here with these arrows is where Farley TF could very well have been hiding. Now, like I said, once you see his video, you'll understand what I'm saying here. But you got to see his first. Okay, so TF, that's the Farley guy, right? So he's saying that this is probably where he was hiding, because a girl comes by and she's like, I see you, Farley, blah blah blah. So she could see someone was there, and then she recognized that it was him. So I think he wasn't really on the stairs. What I think he was is underneath the walkway on the Queen Apartments, because he could have hid down there forever, because the only way you can, well, let me just show you. Hold on. Okay. Excuse me. This is what I'm referring to. Now, I got to give credit to C-Girl at True Crime Buff. She's the one that did Boots on the Ground, and she's the one that found this. So, it's very, very interesting. So see where the apartments are. Now the steps that Embry was pointing to on there. See this bottom picture that looks like a tunnel going underneath stairs, or there's stairs above. The steps would be to the right, our right of this little tunnel walkway, because what that walkway is, see these apartments right on the outside here, on this side, and then the roads on our left side. This is the only way you can get to these apartments is through these front doors on here, because that's the bottom row of apartments. But when you go up the hill, because it's angled, you've got this walkway that's underneath the steps. So the roof that's above this walkway, that is the second floor. And then there's a third floor on top of that. Now I want you to notice this walkway doesn't have any outlets. There's no, you can't, outlets as in exits. You can't get out of it. You have to go all the way through it one way and all the way back, unless you got a friend to help hike you up in these little breaks in the cement. Now this is where I think Farley was. I think he was peeking out these holes, because every once in a while you can hear him. He'll say boo. He kept saying boo to people and scaring the crap out of people. So, he does it like 3 or 4 different times. And this is high enough that you, unless you're 6 foot tall, you're not going to be able to jump up here and get out of here unless you're like a gymnast or something, because it's your head barely goes above this. So they could peek out, and so the walkway above where those steps are that Embry's talking about would walk right in front of these little openings right here, these little slots in the cement that are above the walkway. Now I'm going to play. Let me see if I can find a little spot in this video. So much. Please go with those videos. Check out our stuff. Subscribe, like, comment, share it, get it out there. because it needs to be gotten out there. People need to see this. People need to see this. Okay. A while ago, I did a video where the luminol, you could tell the guys were looking at the luminol, right? And it looked like it was where the wrought iron is. So picture this. Well, you know what? I'm just going to let her show you. So here we go.
During my recent trip to Moscow, Idaho, I made some discoveries that I want to share with you guys. In this video, I want to share with you when I went over by the Queen Road Apartments, where they did the luminol test, and I believe this could be the possible escape route that the perp or perps used. It's not technically a tunnel, but I'm going to share with you, and then you guys decide what you think. But I see why they did a luminol test there, because this is the perfect escape route. Okay, let me start. Okay, so here we are. There's the house. We're coming up. This was seen on the news footage. This is the Queen Apartments. This isn't like a tunnel, but this is underneath the first floor. There's the first floor with the balcony. Look. Look. This isn't like a tunnel, but look. I mean, this is taller than me. Look. You could see the Queen Road house from here. Look at this.
You guys, this blows my mind. Think about this. Think about in the Linda Lane footage where you hear this guy, and he does it at least 3 times, I think, where you hear quiet, and then all of a sudden you hear boom. Was he down underneath here when people were walking up above, and was he trying to scare them or jumping out at them? Because it's at crazy times when this was happening, right? Was that the person? Whose voice was that? Oh, so important. And how the heck did people in these bottom apartments right there, well, why did they not hear anything? Jeremy, how did you not hear anything? You have a dog. Was that your dog barking? Didn't you check to see why your dog was barking? I got questions for you, brother.
I mean, technically speaking, this is not like a tunnel, but look at this. But if I didn't want to be detected and I was a perp, would I go through the street? No, I wouldn't. I would go down here. Look. There's the apartment next door. Look how far away you are.
Sorry guys, there's construction going on across the street for me, so you're sorry it's going to be there in this video. But you know what? You know how covert this whole apartment thing is? Well, Queen Apartments, they own the Queen Road as well. Like the road is like they own it, which is, you don't see that very much. I mean, it's usually the city or something like that owns it, but no, this apartment building owns that Queen Road. And I find that really interesting. They also own the parking lot behind the King Road house. They also own that whole big old chunk. These guys own that owns the apartment building now, right? Now that owner at the time has now sold. This is not owned by the same people anymore. They sold that, just like the King LLCs are sold. Ooh, you wonder why? I'll tell you why. Well, these will tell you why. In your brain, I mean, the things that have happened since then and that are continuing to happen should tell you why. And it's just... So with that said, I'm going to explain this. So you've got this little area here that looks like this tunnel, right? And where she popped in at this tunnel at normally is blocked by a bush there, and you don't see it. What you do see is where she's standing here. If you just a little to your right, those are where those steps are that you can go up, and you'll be walking on that upper level, which is like the second floor level. And from that level, looking over to the left to see down here with other boots on the ground, you couldn't tell what this was down here. I thought maybe it was like a drainage for, because of the way the road is, maybe the water, something for the water to go, which I'm sure it probably goes down here too. Probably a mess in the wintertime. A mess. And which also brings you to this mess. So, I mean, can you imagine what a mess that house would have been? So that's a whole other thing to think about. So, but this long tunnel-like stretch pops out right to the end of the, right in between. You can see Queen, like you pop out Queen, or Queen, King, the King house is right in front of you. There's just a road in between the two of you. And then just slightly to your right is the long Queen Road that goes to King Road. So what's under that Queen Road, that long stretch of Queen Road? Is that part of the tunnel system right there? Because it looks basically like this. And I wonder if it's even the same length. I don't know how to do that, but the measurements of this length of this overlaid to what the road would look, the Queen Road to, like where it turns, well, up to the apartment, I guess, and then you could do it both ways, or to where the Queen turns, you know, when you're coming up King to Queen, and then you'll be driving and taking a right, which would take you past the house, which would take you visually right here. I'm curious if that stretch is the same length as this is right here. Because in my brain it works, right? It might not work in real life, but in my brain this is working. And my brain needs to know. Inquiring mind needs to know. Okay, here we go.
Shit. Look at this. And there are no cameras down here. I don't see any cameras. I mean, if this doesn't pass for a tunnel, what does? I mean, this is almost like a tunnel without it being a tunnel. Look, this is the other side of where the parking lot is. Look how high that hill is. Look.
So when she just panned at the very end to the right, and you saw the other apartment building that was right next to this one, that end area on that floor that you could see is the laundry room. That is the laundry room for the Queen Road apartment buildings. Okay. What do you guys think? So much, and I'm going to see if I can find a picture of the blocking on that's 0701. Still, I'm just wondering, how can they connect these two addresses together? Don't get it. Okay, so there you have it. So now you know that the steps right here, off to the left of these steps, you see like a little, kind of like a low walkway. That's where that's where you walk underneath those steps at, right there. You get in right there. And of course, right here is where the King house used to be and no longer there, of course. Well, it's there now, but I mean, you can see it here, but yeah. Anyway, you get it. So then he brings us to, Veritas connected Farley with working with Germer Construction, right? Which is the ones that took the house down, demolished the house. And there was a bunch of other connects and all that kind of jazz, which is really good, great find. And what's even crazier is that they're relatives. Germer and Farley are relatives. Yeah. So they're not just work buddies, they're relatives. This is where possibly like Farley was hanging out here before committing what he did. If he did it, pure speculation. I mean, it's, it is what it is. But we have to speculate. We don't have anything else. So I'm going to play you this part. He's taken this from a video that I made, and And we all thought, and it still, I mean, I don't know, it sounds like Farley to me now, but when someone tells you what it's going to say, usually your brain kind of goes there. But for a longest time, everybody thought this was Charlie. And when this Farley thing came out, I was listening to it one night and I was like, wait a minute, because I never could get Charlie out of it. I mean, I never really got there. I didn't really know what it said, but Charlie was not working for me. So then this happened.
Hours before to see everything that's coming and going. So could TF have possibly been perched right there?
This video is the one that is so important amongst all of her other ones. Ooh, I forgot about this video. This might be a really good one to listen to because it sounded like a guy was whispering to a female in the car, and I think she said something about that there's an attorney. Oh, great, it's the attorney, or there's an attorney here, something rather. It's definitely. I'm gonna have to listen to this one again, but I don't have time right now, so I keep finding videos I want to listen to again. Oh my God, I gotta get through this video. Help me. Okay, now I'm gonna play you Truth is in the rabbit hole. She made this video, she found this, and then Justice is actually reposting it. But this is the first one I found. I would have played the other one, but I've got limited time on my video. So I'm gonna play this one, and I want you to look. I'll actually put an arrow by it when I get it on CapCut. But I believe these people are running out from underneath that walkway. So keep a good eye on this. And then they take off. They grab someone, two guys, and then they put them in a car, I think. Okay, here we go.
People come in behind him. Because this fucker right here is telling them to. I'm not tripping. Here comes one person through the door behind that guy. There's one person. Here comes another person. There. The door opens, another person. We grab him. We're taking off the car. Right there.
Okay, I'm just going to address things as I go through it because this reminded me of something when I saw Swamp Roses right here. See the arrow on here that's pointing to the wreath on the door? Well, I always thought that wreath meant something, like it was there year-round, right? And I know people decorate their doors like that. I mean, I get that. But I think I think that wreath is there to say that this house has whatever it has. I believe that to be true. And the reason I especially believe that to be true is months and months ago, I was wondering who. There was that Jason Olin that he had his own company, his own construction company, and he's the guy that he's in prison now, but he was touching himself in front of the Wazoo sorority girls, and when they finally caught him, well, he turned himself in, go figure, and they slapped an ankle bracelet on him and told him to get the heck out of town. So I'm thinking, well, maybe he went to Moscow, So anyway, he did construction. So I was looking for construction companies to see, if they had anything where that said what they, their reviews on what houses they had fixed or done whatever, to see if if this guy had been over at the King Road. Well, when I was looking, up popped a different construction company with this lady's name. It's a really interesting name. I can't remember it for the life of me, but I do have the house picture. In fact, I have two, because one of them was when it shows it on the map, it shows it before the Idaho4 atrocities, and then it shows it after. And lo and behold, wouldn't you know, there's a wreath on the door after. So that makes me wonder if that's the new house, if that's where you go. And what's interesting about that is it is connected to a construction company. And all I remember was it was a really weird name. So, I don't know. Pretty crazy. I'll have to go back and check that address. I still have I know I do. I just have to find it. So anyway, that's what reminded me of the wreath on the door when I was scrolling, trying to find the boo video, the one where someone's saying boo, but I think I'm going to give up. I'm just going to go straight to my other stuff I want to tell you. Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm going to play you one more here before I get my head over to where I'm supposed to be going. I just keep scrolling through to find that one, and I'm not finding it. So anyway, the guy I was just telling you about, the construction guy, that I said that there was a wreath on the door and it was a construction company, and the reason how I got to that picture and that house is because I was looking for this Jason Olin guy. Okay, and I also mentioned Jeremy. I'm like, Jeremy, you didn't hear anything? Well, this is Jeremy right here. He lives, I think, on this end apartment on the outside. So it would have been literally right when you go under walkway, right? It would have been right there. And so I'm going to play just a little bit of this because this is really weird. Now I'm starting to wonder if there's going to be a guy. Okay, he's busy having an interview right now. And watch his face. It's like he knows this guy. It's like he recognized, like because he kind of has a little kind of a not quite a smile, but an acknowledgement, right, to the guy that's going to be walking past him. We're only going to see his back. And now I thought for the longest time he was Jason Owen, but what if this is Farley? I believe this is the next morning or next day that they interviewed this guy. Maybe it was, no, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't that day or the next day after that. Okay, so here we go.
I'm assuming it's relatively old, so there was nothing. Luckily, the apartment sent out an email a couple days ago saying they're adding new lights, which there is a new light up there. They're going to work on installing cameras just so that if anything like this were to happen again, there's a better chance of getting footage of who did it. It's just...
Okay, so how's everybody doing? Okay, these two, they disappeared like 2 days later, like they were gone. They moved out. And I've seen them around on Facebook and stuff like that, but there was a friend that was looking for these guys and had posted some stuff online, and he's the reason I found out that they had just gone. They just left after like the next day or the next day after that. It was like only a couple days, and they were gone. And they definitely were, because it shows on the housing report. But anyway, this was right here, so I figured I'd just show you. I'm gonna have to fast forward and get it to the other spot I'm looking for.
Not something that I would have expected to be experiencing so close to home.
It seems like everyone that has been here for a while is just devastated by it. The last murder here was 2015, so 7 years ago. And so it's not something that happens frequently. It's not like we're in a big city where it's an everyday occurrence. So something like this is just sort of rare. It doesn't happen often, so people aren't used to it. It's really odd.
Whoa.
Because,
whoa.
I don't know, I've never been this close to any...
Okay, first of all, I was going to stop it before that happened, but okay. You guys want to talk about The Matrix? Let's talk about The Matrix, why don't we? Oh my God, seriously. I forgot about this. I made a video about this a long time ago, and actually, in the place where this happens, I actually overlaid like what looked like a manhole on the ground, so it looked like the guy fell into the manhole. But that video's been so long ago that I don't even know if it's still there. But anyway, so this is Jason Olin, the guy I was talking about. Now, what's interesting is that he could be, like in the Montgomery's not wearing orange. I mean, he could be Farley, but it's not. It's definitely Jason. But it looks like him that was in that area. In fact, it looked like he was kind of wearing something similar to this gray thing. But who knows? It could have been Farley walking there too. But I just had an epiphany. I'm just thinking, there, in one of the Linda Lane things, you can see a person smoking at the end of that tunnel, on the when looking out from the surveillance camera, you can see like the glow of the cigarette and stuff. And if Farley smoked, and it was his cigarette, and he knows these construction, well, not knows, he's related to him. So I mean, if he knows them all so well, and it's so tied up in all of these different families, you darned straight they're going to not bring that DNA forward. I bet that DNA just tells. I mean, I bet you they know exactly who that DNA is, because damn well that if that is Farley's cigarette, you know that he's in CODIS. Yeah, for sure. I mean, not even a doubt. So that is interesting, because I just thought about that, but I bet you that cigarette was Farley's. Okay, this is another video I made that I find very, very odd, because look in the background. You've got the camper, little trailer over there. You got the red car. You've got a red car parked across the street. Is there a... You've got the Charger, the silver Charger, and you've got the white truck. And this is all in the town. This is Conway. This guy is reporting from Conway, and that's where Ethan was from. But this was 7 months ago, I think. Yeah, 7 months ago. But when I saw this, all these cars, I didn't recognize the red one because I didn't know about the red yet. But the white truck and the camper, I always thought there was a camper parked in that Queen apartment parking lot.
They enrolled at the University of Idaho. 3 inseparable siblings, now torn apart.
Yeah, this is what I put in there. Conway, Washington. Yep, I was right. I thought it was Conway. Okay. So, I wonder who's in Conway. Someone's in Conway, in my opinion. Kind of interesting how they just stuck Walkway Park in there, isn't it? Right where the King Road house is. This is an app. How did they do that? They just popped it in there, just like it was nothing.